Three, two, one, we're live. Hey, Internet friends, MagicBrad, Synergy Cafe, and I've got another interview today. And coincidentally enough, it's with another local person from Asheville, and his name is Nathan. Nathan, are you there?
Hey, everybody.
He is there, bright and red shirt with the color of the green in the background, nice contrast.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday morning here in Asheville, kind of overcast, but we're bright and sunny people, so we'll make the sun come out, right? Now, your last name is Oxenfeld, right?
That's correct. Yeah,
so
that's perfect.
And it was interesting how we met because your car wasn't starting and I was driving through the parking ramp. Remember that?
Yeah. I was sort of running late, and it was winter time, and I tried to get my car started, and it just went, and battery was dead, and I kind of flagged you down, and luckily you had some jumper cables in your car and got me going so I could go throughout the rest of the day. So
originally from Minnesota. You don't go anywhere without your jumper cables when you're in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So the way I do these interviews, Nathan, is basically ask the who, what, where, when, how, and why of you, and then we get into some more conversation at the end. So the first thing is, who is Nathan Oxenfeld?
Nathan Oxenfeld is me. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and have lived down here in North Carolina for almost 8 years, and really like it down here. Before I lived in Asheville, which I've lived here for about 3 years, I lived down in Wilmington, North Carolina, down at the beach, and that was enjoyable. And yeah, I enjoy traveling and photography and just sort of being active, being outside. It's kind of why I'm sitting outside today, just because I like nature and hiking, and there's plenty of that around here in the mountains.
Okay, so the reason for the interview, I guess, is like, what is it you do? And that's the next question is, what is it that you do? Now, I understand that you kind of do eye yoga, which is yoga for the eyes to help you have better eyesight. You don't have to wear those glasses and stuff. I got a pair of these fake glasses here once in a while, so I need to start doing some eye yoga.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? You want to?
So that is what I do. I have been working on getting that started for a little over a year now. Well, I used to wear glasses and contacts for since I was in elementary school, and learned about something called the Bates method, and used that to help improve my own eyesight, and to the point where I don't need to wear any type of lenses anymore. And the process of going from having very blurry vision to having very clear vision without glasses was very exciting to me, so much so that I was motivated to share it with other people and help other people do the same thing that I did. And so before I did improve my own vision, I had gotten into yoga and some other healing practices. So I was a yoga teacher, and as I did the vision improvement training, I saw a lot of overlappages between yoga and the Bates method, and that sort of motivated me to create a fusion of the two, because in my experience they both complemented each other and helped each other out. So I did begin teaching a yoga for the eyes class, which was like a fusion of like a traditional yoga class with your poses and stretches and breathing. But I also incorporated a lot of things from the Bates method, and the entire class was all focused on the eyes. So it was all about keeping your eyes relaxed throughout the yoga class as you're moving your body around in different positions. So yeah, that is what I do, is teach people how to take better care of their eyes, with the goal of eventually being able to see more clearly and be able to give up glasses.
Got it. And where do you do this? Do you do this like online, or do you have like an eye yoga studio or anything like that? Where do you do it?
Yeah, so primarily, since last summer, I started teaching this type of work here in Asheville locally. My main space I work out of is I have an office on Wall Street, right in downtown Asheville. Um, it's funny because my office is on Wall Street, and my house here is on Madison Avenue, so it's
Ooh.
in the big times um, of the South. But yeah, so I have my office downtown, and that's where I work. I teach vision training lessons privately with people, and I also work with like small groups of people there as well. But I also branch out and teach workshops and class series and yoga classes at various locations in the area. Um, Taught out in Black Mountain, in the River Arts District, down in at Crystal Visions down there, and on the way down to Hendersonville. So I'm trying to spread it around the area here, and I also am looking to expand it out online as well, because when I did my training, I did an online vision training with my teacher who lived out in California, and I went through the whole process, sort of like you're interviewing me right now. We just communicated over Skype and online, and so it's totally possible to go through the process online. So I'm hoping to also expand out and work with people that don't live in Western North Carolina.
Okay, when do you do this kind of stuff? Do you have like regular office hours, or do you kind of just do it whenever someone needs to hear from you, or?
Yeah, it's primarily appointment based. I have a part-time job that I work 3 days a week, and then the other 4 days are pretty flexible of uh, working with students and doing the group classes. So yeah, it's pretty much just by appointment.
Okay, later I want to ask you some questions about like more detail of like if you got classes and workshops and that. But before I get into that, like how do you go about this? Is it actually like a yoga class? I mean, do you sit and do exercises with your eyes, or how's the process go?
Yeah, actually, the the Bates method, the process of relearning how to focus your eyes, or allowing your eyes to sort of turn back onto autofocus. Um, since I'm a photographer, I kind of like to use analogies between the eyes and the camera. But it's actually a lot more based about relaxation than it is about doing any type of work or exercises. And that's sort of a subtle difference between like what you would normally think about when you hear about eye exercises or eye movements and the original Bates method, because it's not the vision isn't blurry because your eye muscles are too weak and they need to be strengthened. A lot of times the vision is actually blurry because the eye muscles are overworked, or they have too much strain or stress or tension in them. And so the vision training is actually more centered around learning how to let go of that eye strain and sort of allow the eyes to function automatically on their own, because the vision is just like your other senses, that they're meant to be involuntary and automatic. And so it's all about, just sort of stepping aside and letting go, and allowing the eyes to rehabilitate themselves and heal themselves, just sort of giving them the opportunity to do that. Because when you wear glasses, you don't really give the eyes any opportunity to do any work or any relaxation, really. They're kind of sort of stuck in between.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I think the reason the eyes don't focus is because the eyeball is distorted for some reason, probably because there's a lot of muscles that are tense and stressed and making it out of shape. Whereas if you relax, the natural spherical form of the eyeball would be natural. That makes sense, I
That
think. Am I on?
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
I
Because
could
you've
be an
got
apprentice.
yeah. Yeah, because you've got 6 muscles around each eye, and they're some of the strongest muscles in the body. And if you're holding on to a lot of unconscious strain and tension, you're totally right. It can hold the eyeball sort of out of shape, um, and it's only when you learn how to relax those eye muscles that the eyeball returns to its normal shape that allows things to, appear more clearly. So,
Got it.
and it's
Well, here,
actually really neat because more of the, less of it is about working with the eyes, and more of it is actually about working with the mind and the brain, because most of the vision actually happens in the back of your brain in your visual cortex. Your eyes are really only taking in the light that your brain pieces together and interprets into an image. So a lot of it is actually mental uh, relaxation and mental practices, which I think is really, really interesting about it, because it involves carving new neural pathways and making new connections actually in the brain, which is more in line with some things of, in the field of neuroplasticity, of learning new habits through frequency and repetition. So it's sort of like physical therapy for the eyes and like non-physical therapy for the mind.
got it. That's why
Yeah.
you call it eye yoga. It's the yoking or the
Yeah. Yeah.
together
The
mind and body.
union, the connection between the eyes and the mind is very important.
I suppose because we're not really seeing with our eyes, we're seeing with our imagination.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm. Kind of like
Yeah.
Geordie
A lot
DeForge
of
had
times.
that. Remember Geordie DeForge in Star Trek? He had that thing goes over his head.
Yeah.
He didn't have any eyes. It just plugged into his brain so he could see.
Yeah.
Pretty
Maybe I should use him in some advertisements.
Well, here's the next question. This is my favorite question, and that is why? Why is it you do this? You said you took yoga. Why aren't you a yoga instructor? Why did you take on something like this?
Yeah. Well, I began as a yoga instructor. After I graduated from college, I went and lived at an ashram in Virginia called Yogaville. I lived there for a month and did a teacher training, and moved to Asheville from there, and was teaching yoga classes, how I was trained, just doing your basic hatha yoga class that, it's like a full body focus. And I found it to be very beneficial in my life to have a yoga practice, and I felt really good about sharing that with other people and encouraging other people to yoke and find that union and connection with the body and the mind and the breath. But I was curious about what would happen if you took that focus of your yoga practice and really, really focused it in or honed it in on one specific thing. So you've got this like laser focus on just the eyes and vision. And because I knew from my experience of how powerful a yoga practice could be, and I just wondered how far I could take it if I really focused in instead of, the whole body, which I still keep in mind with the eyes, but just really focusing it in on one particular goal. And and like I said before, my own experience of going from not being able to read the top line on an eye chart without my glasses on to being able to read all the way down without them just was it was a very exciting process for me, and very, it was something that I wanted to tell all my friends and family and share with other people, because not very many people know about it. And you know I I think it sort of runs in my family, that of being sort of more of a self-starter and being more self-sufficient in terms of like work, because my mother's father was a carpenter, and he built airplanes and would fly his furniture around the country and sell it. My father's father was an architect, and he worked for himself. He was his own boss and constructed buildings down in Wilmington. And and my father was very entrepreneurial, and so I feel like I was searching for opportunities um, to create my own sort of path instead of working for someone else. I wanted to find a way that I could do what I love and combine my passion with my profession. And I thought that yoga was a good way to start that. But like I said, I kind of wanted to focus it in on a more specific concern, so that I can, I don't know, because now people come to me with a lot more specific issues that they want to sort out, specifically, different types of vision problems. Whereas when I just taught basic yoga, it was sort of more vague, and I don't know, so I guess the main reason why I do it is because I experienced the benefit for myself, and so I'm sort of like a walking, talking example of the success of the Bates method, and I kind of want to, keep the field growing, because there's really not that many people talking about this stuff or teaching it. There's a few vision teachers on the West Coast, and there's some up in the Northeast, but there's really not very many in this area, and I just wanted to sort of expose this information to what I thought would be a pretty open and accepting audience, which is the Asheville area. And so
Sure.
far I've encountered a lot of people who have either read a book by Dr. Bates, or they've heard of some sort of vision improvement practice, and so it's been really fun to have these conversations and build a community here of people who don't want to depend on glasses or contacts for the rest of their life, or get a dangerous invasive surgery.
Well, it's very interesting because it's very branded. The whole concept of eye yoga. Because if you go into yoga, there's plenty of yoga, especially here in Asheville. There's plenty of yoga studios around. But
Yeah,
the eye focus, and your market is very niched. You know how to find it just looking for people that are wearing glasses on their head.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
probably
I haven't
pretty
gotten
easy
to
to
the point
find your
yet.
client.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the point yet of just going up to people and giving them my card just based off of them wearing glasses. But yeah, I think that what you said might also have been a factor of what made this come about, was because, like you said, there's a high saturation of yoga and yoga classes in Asheville, and I kind of wanted to just find something to be a little more unique, or just stand out a little more. So that could have also been a reason why I felt the desire to start doing the yoga for the eyes class.
You could branch this out into internet-based too if you figured out a way of doing classes online and recorded videos of the trainings and the
Yeah,
teachings and things.
yeah, yes. At this point, I'm just starting to crack into the online community. I've got a small handful of little instructional videos teaching some of the Bates method basic practices, but yeah, I am interested in recording more in-depth videos to send out to people, and to work with people one-on-one live, online as well.
Well, that's good. That's what the whole Synergy system is about. Part of it is the educational informational aspect with the trainings and teachings, and the other aspect of it is the promotion, marketing, and the advertising of products and services and causes. So there's a fit
Great.
there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we've been on for about, I think, 20 minutes or so, so I don't want to take people's time. They've probably got things to do while they're watching this, and so very interesting information about being able to fix your eyesight without having to do that laser surgery or something. I've never thought
Yeah.
that was very safe, burning a laser surgery. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, luckily I held off. I was going to do that, but I learned about the Bates method before I went through with that, so I'm appreciative of that.
Okay, well, we appreciate you taking the time this morning to do this, because you could be out enjoying nature, but you are enjoying nature there, I see.
Yeah, I'm multitasking.
There you go. So again, Nathan, I appreciate it. If you want to stay on after, we'll have a little chat, but I appreciate you taking the time to share what you do and who you are with us.
Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it. Thanks,
We'll
Brad.
do it again. Maybe we'll see some of your classes.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, peace, love, and happiness, people. Enjoy your lives. MagicBrad signing off in Synergy Cafe.